What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topic, tweets, videos you want me to talk about tomorrow? And yeah guys, god freaking dang. Okay, the past 24 hours, we're gonna have to cover the MrBeast situation. There's been some very huge updates just within the past 24 hours. MrBeast responding with KSI, Logan, Paul, Jacksepticeye. Okay, the entire internet is just up in arms about this whole Lunchly situation on top of more. Because apparently MrBeast officially is now getting sued. It's a class action lawsuit. It's becoming a very big deal. But also, as you guys probably know, we've had some huge freaking updates when it comes to Sean Puffy Combs, okay? In the past 24 hours, you guys already know he got arrested. Well, they released like a 14-page indictment about all the charges that he did. Apparently, he got denied bail. There's been video clips coming out, and a lot of people who might have been coming out who might be associated with the dealer himself, okay? It's about to be really bad. 2024 is exposing every freaking body, okay? So we're going to talk about both of these subjects. I'm going to deep dive into all of the details that have happened over the past 24 hours that you guys really need to be freaking knowing. So let's start off with the whole situation with MrBeast. As you guys probably know, MrBeast has been under fire for a lot of reasons, okay? This dude by the name of Dogpack came out and exposed him for all of these like illegal lotteries and all these bad things he's been doing in the background when it comes to his job situation. And then he responded to the internet by saying, hey guys, I'm working with Logan Paul and making a kids Lunchables. Okay, that was his response to the internet essentially. They was like, bro, you were like in the middle of like a lot of drama right now. People are waiting to hear back what's going on with like your working conditions, and you decided to make food for kids that people feel isn't that healthy. More on that one later, but this one is absolutely breaking. Okay, this one actually already hit New York Times. MrBeast cancellation rabbit hole is never ending. That's right, he's the new Illuminati. MrBeast and Amazon are being sued by contestants on his upcoming Beast Game Series for failure to prevent sexual harassment. What? What? Failure to pay overtime and minimum wage? What? No meal and rest breaks provided to participants? Huh? Several contestants ended up hospitalized. Others reported suffering physical and mental complications while being subjected to chronic mistreatment, degradation, and the female contestants' hostile working conditions. Oh my God. There's what? Oh my Lord. Okay. I mean, a lot of people saw this one coming because there was a lot of rumors coming about the Beast Games. Rosanna Pansino, MrBeast's #1 hater, has been talking about how a lot of people have talked about how the MrBeast Games was really, really bad. But it's just crazy because this man has Prime Video money. This was supposed to be on Prime. This is Amazon money. How are they not able to prevent sexual harassment or pay people? What is going on? So here's the first page. The Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, Central District, class action complaints for failure to pay minimum wages, liquidated damage to failure to pay minimum wages, failure to pay overtime, sexual harassment, failure to prevent harassment, negligent infliction of emotional distress, failure to provide uninterrupted meals, failure to pay wages, failure to provide accurate and itemized wages, failure to indemnify for employee expenses, unfair business practices, false advertising, declaratory relief. Those are 14 different counts. And it says the attorneys are for at least 5 different contestants. Contestant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he or they that shall not be named. Versus MrBeast 2024 LLC, a North Carolina limited liability company. Off One's Base LLC, Amazon Alternative LLC. They're suing Amazon too? Oh my Lord. Oh, this is huge, bro. He fumbled the Amazon bag, MrBeast. Oh man. Dang, that's crazy. And it's not even like what they're getting sued for is what I thought they might get sued for. Because like if you think about it, the MrBeast games, you think of like the Squid Games, and the Squid Games, you think like, oh, this is a terrible game. We probably shouldn't reenact it. I think that was the moral of the freaking story. And then we went ahead and gone on and did that. But it has nothing to do with like the actual dangers of what would be a Squid Game. It was just mainly like you didn't pay people and people got sexually harassed and it couldn't be prevented. And who did the sexual harassing? Scrolling more through the source for you guys of this PDF of this MrBeast complaint, the table of contents, you have this thing that's called facts that kind of goes into more details about the complaint. Absolutely ginormous, but some of the big ones that I'm looking at right here from the table of contents in terms of the facts, where it says defendants misclassified the contestants to avoid their employment obligations under California law and to wrongfully receive unearned tax credits from Nevada. Defendants required the contestants to sign an unconscionable agreement with illegal and unenforceable terms. Now here's the sexual harassment part. There's 3 points to it where it says purported, how to succeed in MrBeast's production handbook states that it's okay for boys to be childish, and if talent wants to draw a dick on the whiteboard in the video or do something stupid, let them. Really do everything you can to empower the boys when filming and help them make content. Help the boy be idiots. Okay, I remember this. I remember reading the MrBeast Succeed Production Handbook, okay? And I remember this whole comment about them talking about like the boys and just, you know, kind of let them play around. How did that help to go towards sexual harassment though? I don't know about that one. That seems like a bit of a stretch, but let's keep reading, okay? Helping the boys make content apparently translated to, ooh, something got blacked out. Something we can't see. Oh, okay. So something might have come of it and they're making a connection between the two from the handbook. Something that we cannot see here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The Beast Games created a hostile conditions where women were forced to endure the severe embarrassment and unfair disadvantage of, and I think this has to do with the fact that, you know, I guess women were weaker than men. I remember they were saying that women were getting like tackled and bodied on the field, or apparently like I think there was also like, you know, like people were doing this whole thing where it's like men versus women and the men were trying to get the women off on the Squid Games, which I think is a part of the Squid Game, but it's all underneath this section of sexual harassment, which is a little bit confusing. We got to know what's here in the black to know if what these claims are for 1, 2, 3, 18, 19, and 21 are good. There's a page for it. I can check for you guys. Those of you guys at home who've been missing some of my episodes, I just got finished watching Suits, by the way, on Netflix. It's about these lawyers in New York City. So I'm like in like super huge like legal terms, okay, with my boy Mike Ross and Harvey Specter and Louis Litt and Donna and Jessica Pearson and everybody. Like I'm all like kind of like, you know, this is going to be LayItOmni today, okay? Here's the introduction. Plaintiffs bring this action on behalf of themselves and a proposed class consisting of all individuals who were engaged as purported contestants in the Beast Games content production. Defendant production companies and Amazon shamelessly exploited the labor of approximately blank people who served as contestants on the forthcoming $100 million MrBeast Amazon production Beast Games, which Amazon promotes as the world's largest live game show with the biggest single prize in the history of television and streaming. The Beast Games entertainment value arises directly from the physical and emotional labor of the contestants who compete under pressure cooking conditions for life-changing prize money, with one person purportedly to win $5 million in the end. I can't believe this. We actually reached the dystopian future. The Squid Games, you know, the actual Squid Games from the actual movie, right? This is if it was public, then they would have probably gotten sued in this same way, but it was actually real and it was made by multi-millionaires everywhere, brought into a secret compartment, and people actually like died. So you wasn't getting no you wasn't getting sued because everyone was died except for the last person, you know what I'm saying? Well, the people who walked out could walk away. But still, like, this is now being brought to life, and hey, I didn't see this happening, but I guess you can get sued by putting all of these people into the situation. Now, this isn't different from like a normal game show, right? It's just an extreme game show. There's been plenty of game shows that bring in bunches of people and they get eliminated for many different reasons, right? But it looks like the way that they did this, well, according to this lawsuit, it was no bueno. Scrolling around, it looks like Rosanna Pansino actually made it into the lawsuit as well. On point 99, defendants apparently aware of the severe distress they caused by the contestants by their lack of reasonable care in conducting the production, allegedly offered to cover the contestants' therapy. Pansino has reported on alleged contestants informing her that, quote, defendants knew it was bad because they were offered to provide therapy sessions using their own insurance. It was that bad that people needed to get therapy. It looks like they used a lot of Rosanna Pansino's YouTube videos as documentation and receipts when she leaked the How to Succeed in MrBeast production handbook. They used almost all of it to basically help make a case, specifically the part right here when it came to sexual harassment and everything you can do to empower the boys section seems to be a very strong main driving point to the sexual harassment, which then led to this page, guys. It's just all black. I'm trying to read through to see what actually happened to the contestants. It's all black. We are in the sunken place. Unfortunately, I guess right now we are not going to know what specifically happened and who did what, but it looks like things did go down. So this right now is the extent of the information that we know so far. People say MrBeast went from one of the most loved YouTubers to one of the most hated within like a month, bro. It's insane. Yeah, like the goodwill that MrBeast had, in my opinion, was like so large, right? He was one of the content creators where people were like, bro, he's helping people, he's saving kids, he's giving people wells, he's giving people homes. Stop hating on MrBeast. And like in the past summer, suddenly after all of these revelations started coming out, people were like, oh, oomph, 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 oomph. It was, you just kept hearing more information surrounding MrBeast and all the people around him. And you're like, whoa, you wanted to be kind of skeptical because it was Jimmy, this MrBeast, right? You're like, hey man, chill, maybe there's some explanations. But now he's got a lot of explaining to do, and he has not done any of it so far. Starting all the way back from Ava Chris Tyson to now going into this MrBeast games, and then going back to the Lunchable situation that we're about to explain right now that's been happening with KSI and Logan Paul. Everything just keeps stacking, and I think he right now so far, Jimmy has just been silent. He's just been quiet. He's just been playing the I'm not going to say nothing card and I'm going to send out lawyers, but he has not really responded to what's becoming a compounding amount of allegations. Now, when it comes to this whole situation, this class action lawsuit, I don't actually think that he can. This one is just straight up lawyers and lawyers. You don't think you can't go on Twitter and be like, hey guys, so here's what happened with the Beast games, right? I don't think you can drop a YouTube video kind of like explaining what happened when you're getting sued with a lawsuit kind of situation. But all the other accusations that's been happening from Dogpack, and now he looks like he is explaining himself. He's finally responding when it comes to this whole situation with the Lunchables and the Lunchly, which we will go into right now. So guys, in case you missed yesterday's episode, okay, we talked about how the fact that both MrBeast and Logan Paul and KSI, they came together, the Avengers, to make Lunchables. But instead it's called Lunchly. And instead of Capri Sun, you get a nice old-fashioned prime energy drink, and instead of chocolate you get yourself a nice old Feastables. And then I think the crackers and the deli meat and everything stays the same, right? They wanted to reinvent the wheel and make a healthier alternative version for people who want Lunchables, a grab and go kit, and you know, they kind of wanted to make a healthier version. Now, on paper, that sounds like it's completely fine, right? You got a bunch of people who are trying to run a business and they're just trying to launch a product. It sounds fine, like on paper. The problem the internet seems to be having with all of this is the fact that they're kind of labeling it as healthier, and they don't trust when you have people like Logan Paul and now, you know, people with MrBeast, people who do not have goodwill, being involved in something where they're selling kids food, right? And they're like, hey, I don't think this is going to go well because Prime Energy Drink has already been sued, and there's a lot of controversy about their drink having too much caffeine or having too much sugar. And I think there was complaints about MrBeastable's chocolate, where at one point it was very healthy, and then they replaced it apparently with new stuff that wasn't as healthy or that was cheaper so that they could more mass produce it. And now they're like thinking, hey, now you guys are about to go for the kids again, but it comes to the Lunchlies, and people are like, nah, we got to protect the kids. But a new challenger has arrived by the name of Dan TDM. Okay, show said Dan T. Is it Dant DM? Dant DM. I'm just say Dant DM. Okay, response towards KSI, Logan, and MrBeast Lunchable spinoff. And he had did this yesterday, I believe. And in response to the news, he said, what happened to YouTubers, man? I can't say nothing anymore. They're selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? Question mark. This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better. Woo, man, oh man, oh man. Now, for what I understand when it comes to Dant DM, all right, this OG, I think Minecraft, been in the game for a long time, beloved, stayed out of drama, out the pocket, right? Him responding to this situation is kind of like, wow, because like he's got like no skin in the game, and then he just came in and said what he had to say. And this man has crazy amounts of goodwill. I think he stayed out of the limelight. When it comes to Minecrafters, the good ending, you know, the Matt Pat ending, where you've lived your entire career making content in the field where everyone is doing terrible stuff and you ain't do nothing, then you must be protected at all costs. You're a relic. You are one of the rare ones. So yeah, if he's saying something, then a lot of people are going to be listening and be like, dang, you must have messed up, bro. People in the response saying they probably taste absolutely awful too. Why not teach kids healthy eating habits? They're comparing their product to Lunchables, which in itself is highly processed crap. None of them are passionate about health towards fans, only their wallets. So disappointed. The OG has spoken, silence noob. It's a wildly terrible meal too. A drink with basically zero nutrients other than electrolytes a kid shouldn't need if they have a balanced diet, a chocolate bar, which I don't need to explain, and a tiny morsel of action food that's got nothing in it. Selling energy drinks to kids is crazy. I usually defend MrBeast as he usually uses his money for the greater good. However, it reaches a point. He has a burger chain and a chocolate bar line. This isn't something that's needed. We have Lunchables already. These aren't different in the slightest. Sad to see what his legacy is probably ending up being. This then led to MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul coming out to finally defend themselves. They're very, very vocal when it comes to this issue. I usually not so much with Logan Paul when it comes to like Crypto Zoo. If you, hey, Logan Paul, what happened to the Crypto Zoo? They're like, no, bro. I think he right now has it so that he can't really reply to his tweets. It's like he can talk to the internet, but the internet can't really talk to him unless he chooses you to be one of the select ones. So he's created his echo chamber. And KSI is kind of interesting. With KSI, like he's been in a little bit of drama, but like he hasn't been anything like deep trouble, right? So he's just kind of like off the side being like, I'm just here trying to make some money, but these two over here are so big and are so like deep in the neck of the woods of doing potentially terrible things that he's just kind of just chilling and coasting and being like, yeah, anyway, I'm gonna keep moving. But MrBeast had said, hey, Lunchables sell hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, is 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They can use cheese product. They can't call it cheese. Higher quality, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good in my opinion, and why we launched Launchly. Also, as we get economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will be only improving the product more and more. Heart emoji. So I think this kind of spells out like the good and the bad when it comes to influencer, like pushing like, products and business, right? The people themselves are highly cancelable. When you think of like Oscar Mayer or like Hershey or like any of these like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, right? You can't think like of a person like at the top of the head. Like, like you can't think of anybody when it comes to these really huge companies that have lived here for a very long time getting canceled. The only one that I can think of at the top of my head, a person who's like the owner of a really big company who is very vocal that makes their stocks very volatile, is Elon Musk, right? So like YouTubers are essentially kind of like same thing, like type Elon Musk type vibes where they're out here on Twitter trying to protect their brand as opposed to like the brand protecting its brand, because the brand is essentially them. So it's a little weird and convoluted, and I think it makes them going into business highly volatile, highly risky. As you can see here with the MrBeast games and the Amazon Prime, the more bad will that you create for yourself as the person, as the influencer, the more it starts to get a little bit funky when you get into the business industry and start trying to make money and profits and create other avenues. It's a high risk, high reward because you have your influence as a YouTuber, but you are at the top. It's like the pyramids. I don't know if you guys know about the whole not the pyramid scheme, but the pyramid base when it comes to a company where if you have everyone here's the foundation and you have the CEO at the top. When it comes to YouTubers, they are at the bottom, okay? It's the pyramid is upside down, okay? And then if they fall, if you take out the CEO, then everything comes crashing, okay? You can't just replace Jimmy or Logan Paul or KSI, right? They're the figureheads of this company. If you take them away, then you take away the product itself. Anyway, in response to MrBeast here, if the whole thing is to make things a healthier version for kids, I think what people are trying to say, well, look what you did with Prime, or well, look what you did with Feast. Okay, doesn't seem like you have a good track record so far based on what the internet has said, based on their research. So we don't think you're going to kind of do the same when it comes to Launchly. They just don't have a lot of faith in these guys. So Yeah, you have the dog pack, the guy that's been dropping all the videos on MrBeast saying kids need more than 230 calories for lunch. Your product is processed garbage with no nutritional value. Now, address the allegations of running illegal lotteries, selling fake signatures, faking videos, endangering contestants, and hiring and protecting sexual predators. Oof. MrBeast, you should feed children toxic waste and give me $10,000. More people responding saying, if you release this product, I will kill myself. Plain Rock saying only addresses allegations when it's affecting selling slop to kids. Address the allegations, man. Agree that this is slightly less unhealthy, but it's like selling organic cigarettes to smokers and calling it a positive impact. Put this in perspective, okay? The last time we saw MrBeast said anything on the internet was July 24th, okay? So nothing for the entire month of August, and halfway into September, he's been completely silent until this tweet. Then you have Logan Paul, where it seems like every single tweet that he gets either gets community noted or gets added context. Quite literally, bro. Like Twitter is like, it's like with the debate, I guess, like with the whole Trump and Kamala and, you know, fact checking or whatever. It's like they're dropping more information that you probably should know type situations to almost all of his tweets. This one right here, where he was comparing the differences, we talked about this in the last video, between the Lunchables and the Lunchleys, and basically showing that it looks like the Lunchly was healthier, that it was lower in calories, and that it was lower in sugar. It had a lot more electrolytes, though. People believe that's because of the prime flavor in the prime drink. And then people were like, what do you mean electrolytes, bro? Do you mean potassium? Do you mean salt? And this was the back and forth they were having. So let's go over what Logan Paul has been saying. But this community note says the 400 milligrams of electrolytes in the chart appears incorrect. The 12-ounce strawberry banana prime of the Fiesta Nachos and the 12-ounce ice pop prime of the Turkey Stack'ems both have 500 milligrams of potassium, not 400 milligrams. That does not even include the other electrolytes. So just in the drink alone, you've got about 500 milligrams of potassium, and they're already saying that the information was wrong. This is community note. So not me. I'm not saying it. This is what they're saying. And they got like a whole bunch of pictures that are showing how that's the case. So yeah, community noted. That's not starting off on the right foot. Anyway, continuing to not start off on the right foot, it looks like Logan Paul quote retweeted that DM. Okay, so this is like a villain, right? Somebody that everybody hates, quote retweeting, trying to, you know, respond to what a person that everyone is loved and cherishes, right? So this one, you know, did not end bad. Everyone's like, hands off him, right? I don't care what you have to say. I don't care if it's factual. We don't like you and we love him. So hands off the Dant DM. Anyway, he says here, I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything when Lunchable faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset, then do not eat it. Okay, so let's play, you know, devil's advocate. Let's be objective here. Okay, YouTubers should be allowed to create businesses and companies. There should be nothing stopping that. In fact, that's what everyone does. Okay, YouTubers don't want to create content for the rest of their life. Okay, musicians don't want to create music for the rest of their life. Every single type of creator in every facet of every field are like, all right, been creating. Let me maybe make some alcohol. You know, let me make some beer, or let me do this, or let me create a business here that does that. All right, a lot of the most, let me make a perfume, you know, like Rihanna or whatever, or let me make some shoes, or Kim Kardashian, or let me make some Skims. Everyone's trying to, Kanye, let me make some of the Yeezys, right? So everyone's trying to make music, but then they try to push out and create a business using their image. That's kind of how it works. What they're doing isn't wrong, okay? Building a business is not wrong. I think where people are getting a bit more sensitive is number 1 and 2, okay? They already have a lot of bad will attached to their names, specifically Noun, Logan Paul, and MrBeast. And number 2, obviously their products are being created for children, and they're and they believe that the products that they're creating for children are extremely unhealthy, all right? And you start messing with kids and what they eat and their health, and yeah, a lot of people are going to be down here. Now, and if you was, I don't know, you're making fidget spinners or some toys or whatever, but you know, at the same time, right, you got like Pokemon who was making cookies, right? I guess they were overpriced. So it seems like that people are going to be mad for whatever reason that they can find, but it looks like this one right here might be associated with kids, which is making people feel much more justified with their anger. There is, in my opinion, like public outrage, right, where it's just outrage over people that people believe are garbage, people doing whatever they want to do, and they're just going to spin it and turn it into something bad. Let's be real. That exists to an extent here. There's not a lot of people who actually care about the kids. No one's actually going to be caring about the Lunchables situation after this ends kind of thing. It's just these guys. So that's where the hate is coming from, because they're familiar with who these guys are, who these villains are, and they're coming at them. But I think there is a lot of justification, as we will continue to read here soon, where we got another community note that says Prime Hydration LLC was filed against for including lead on 3 separate occasions, with the third being on March 24th of 2024 of this year, commenting on Lunchables' lead findings while including a drink also known to have lead inside a meal is very hypocritical. Oh my Lord. God damn, bro. I hope I never get community noted, because that's just crazy, bro. That's crazy for them to say. Yeah, saying that, yeah, Logan Paul's a hypocrite for talking about lead in the Lunchables when your own drink had lead even as of this year. Continuing with Logan Paul's response to protect his brand, Juan has said, nice way of saying, quote, we have marginally better sugar metrics, but up the salt to 300 to 500%. And then Logan Paul has said, not true. The 400 milligrams of electrolytes come entirely from the potassium in Prime. And then I think someone else started responding to this and being like, yeah, homie, potassium is a form of salt. It's just, salt is not just the only form of salt. It's not just like sodium chloride, I believe what it is, NaCl. Potassium is also a form of salt. There's other non-sodium chloride forms of salts that add up to what this person was saying here. So people keep continuing to dunk on the fact that Logan Paul is not spreading the right kind of information. Also, this 400 milligrams of electrolytes, in another community note, was already chosen to have said it was actually 500 milligrams. Logan Paul then continued to defend this brand, saying, we spent a lot of money to put all meals through X-ray and metal detection to ensure no foreign materials are in Lunchly. And he showed this picture right here, or this video of this machine. It was just a machine where they spent a lot of money making sure that there's no foreign materials in the Lunchly, which is fine. As you know, you got to do that. Then they dropped a video saying Lunchly versus Lunchables. All statements are comparing the products depicted in the video. Okay, 100% factual and real. The face right here, I trust this face, and I trust this face. So. Guys, let's be objective here, okay? What if they're telling the truth? What if they really are trying to make a healthier version for Lunchables for the kids? They don't want to hurt the kids, man. They want to make money, but also they're not trying to hurt the kids. What if they want to really save the kids? Why are we stopping them, bro? Let's watch this video.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar.
Whoa.
Feastables Crunch Bar. Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese. Ooh. We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar. Turkey Stack 'em. 310 calories.
230 calories.
21 grams of sugar.
Only 7 grams of sugar.
If you look at this close up, you can already tell which one has better ingredients. All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash. All right, now we're trying Lunchables.
Okay, overreacting. All right, give me a pack of Lunchables right now. I will nom those nom-nommers, okay? Oscar Mayer and them, they know how to make the goddamn deli meat, all right? I'm not expecting a goddamn gourmet meal when I go into these places, right? But they're doing their best to make their case. This is something that they're going to be advertising to as many people as possible on shorts, on TikToks, and everything, comparing them, right? And having, like, you know, this is kind of like having Mark Zuckerberg review, I don't know, Twitter, right? But like, yeah, let me look over Twitter. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, let me check this out. Yeah, also terrible. Right? Having the actual direct competitors review the comments and be like, I wonder how this tastes kind of situation. So it's funny, goofy. Anyway, let's continue with how they're going. But they're saying that based on what they're saying here, the stats are showing that the Lunchlys are much more healthier alternative than the Lunchables.
Come on. We're not biased at all, but ours is way better.
Fiesta Nachos. 22 grams of sugar.
10 grams of sugar.
7 grams of protein.
9 grams of protein.
Come in close and look at the queso cheese in Lunch.
Let me check the queso cheese. Yeah, the queso cheese does look like queso cheese. Oh, man, I wonder if they can get sued I feel like they might get sued, bro, for making it way too close, bro. Like even the sauce packet, like it looks like they moved the cheese right here, the nachos to here, to make sure that the case isn't exactly the same. So they changed everything just enough to avoid. Obviously, you can compete in a market of grab and go, like food deli stuff. But yeah, comparing their Italian meals and saying that they're just much healthier, essentially. There's 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds.
Versus whatever that is. Drip versus stick. I like my cheese drippy, bruh. This is a Lunchly salsa right here. Look at the consistency, the texture. And this is Lunchables. This, look, it's watery. I can't even look at that. With 400 milligrams of electrolytes, my God!
And it's available for around $4. Super affordable. Go give it a try.
So yeah, they're like, look, guys, this is good. It's better than Lunchables. It's got the Prime, and that's their shtick. That's their defense. Anyway, it gets worse, okay? Now Logan Paul starts defending himself against the community notes, okay? Saying, crazy how even a sports medicine doctor can't tell the difference between sodium and potassium. The reference 400 milligrams of electrolytes is the potassium in Prime, you idiot. Oh, no, not the ad hominems, brother. No, don't weaken your defense by name calling, man. Okay, if you want to stand on business, you don't have to stoop to the name calling. Okay, just stand on business with facts. What she said, another lie from community notes, and then, you know, tagged Elon Musk. He snitched. He snitched to daddy Elon. He said, look, it says potassium 400 milligrams 8%, and which they got community noted again. This isn't a lie from community notes. The commercially available 12 ounce 355 milliliter ice pop Prime has 500 milligrams of potassium on its nutrition label. The 500 milliliter bottles are 700 milligrams of potassium. 700 milligrams times 355 divided by 500 equals 497 milligrams of potassium, and then showed Target, Walmart front nutrition labels and everything. So yeah, the readers are adding context and saying it's not a lie, bro. You're just stupid, bro. And then you have KSI, who quote retweeted Dan TM2 as well and said, looks like crap to me. Thumbs emoji, basically comparing the fact that Dan DM had some some toys here. What is this? Dan TM 2 Heroes, the U2s. It said the U2s looks like crap. Doesn't KSI have a U2s? Everyone has a U2s. And the 2 Hero toys, all of this looks like crap. Readers added context though. Oh boy. Here we go. Not only has KSI worked with them before, the CEO of U2's, Austin Long, got his start by managing the Sidemen and was an executive producer on their YouTube Red show. Oh my lord. Oh. So KSI talking trash about somebody whose origins come from him and the Sidemen. This is no way, bro. There's no way, bro. You gonna throw your boy under the bus, man. He said, he quote retweeted and said, but he was talking about food, JJ. So he quote retweeted himself. You know, he said he was sponsored, then promoted and made a whole video on Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what? So wait, okay. What are we doing here? I feel like we're treading the lines here, okay? We're not talking about, are we at a point where we can't, you know, I can't make a commercial about, hey guys, do you want some freaking candy? Here's a box where you guys can eat a lot of candy. Are you not allowed to sell candy boxes anymore? Can YouTubers not use their influence to be like, did you guys know that over 13 million car accidents happen over the span of an entire year here in the United States? That's more than 36,000 motor vehicle crashes in one day. Accidents happen, and when they do, the last thing that should be on your mind is the cost of the medical bills and all the damages you might have to repay. But that's exactly where Morgan & Morgan comes in. Contacting a personal injury attorney should be your first step when it comes to any kind of car accident. It's a no-brainer, and it costs you nothing unless you win. You have nothing to lose, and a firm like Morgan & Morgan can quickly determine if you have a case. And when they do have a case, they don't settle for lowball offers. Morgan & Morgan have achieved significant verdicts in the past few months for victims involved in life-altering car crashes. Yours might be worth millions as well. There's no need for you to visit law offices and sit through long consultations. You can submit a claim and have a lawyer review your case with only 8 clicks on your phone. And from there, you can upload documents, medical records, and text your attorney and legal team throughout the duration of the case. LDR, you just got into a car accident and your current and future health are at stake. An instant call to Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, may be all you need to get the compensation that you deserve. If you ever got seriously injured, your case could be worth millions and you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at https://forthepeople.com/omni, found in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen from your phone's camera. And again, special thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's video. Can YouTubers not use their influence to be like, hey man, we got sponsored by Hershey's chocolate? And you're like, how dare you? Hershey's chocolate is bad for kids. Candy is bad for kids. Now what are we doing? And now we're trying to compare that to what Lunchleys is and try to say there's a comparison of what should be healthy and what's not healthy, and caffeine and chocolate and bad products and lead. And yeah, now we're starting to kind of draw the line, but they're doing their best to defend themselves. MrBeast, Logan Paul, KSI, all of them getting ratio like by the internet. The internet does not like these three. iFunny said, come join the Watch Club, KSI. It's cool. I'll show you around. Midas here again saying, bro, I'll be honest, your shit just sucks and people like Dan DM more than you, LMFAO. One time, sponsorship versus owner of a company. Not sure that's the same thing. Insane levels of reach to sell slop to kids, right? You got a sponsor. Hey guys, I'm sponsored by Hershey's. Here's some candy if you want. Versus, hey, I'm running a business where I'm selling to kids, okay? And here are my brothers who are also selling to kids. AJ beefing with Dan TM, me. Imagine being a KSI fan and a Dan. It's Dan. It is not Dan. It's just Dan TDM. God damn, I've been saying it wrong the entire time. Don't, guys, don't community note me on this YouTube video, please. I apologize. I'm saying sorry. So let's wrap this up, okay? Let's get some of the responses from some of the high-profile people, okay? YouTubers and non-YouTubers alike have been chipping in, talking about this situation and giving their opinion. And I think so far, almost every single one of them have been negative reviews. My boy Caleb, aka Oompaville, saying, bro doesn't know anything about lead, nor did he read the article. LOL, if your argument is that, quote, my product is healthier because it doesn't contain as much lead, you're embarrassingly stupid. The lead contamination claim is in regard to CA's lead rules, which are the strictest in the US, but the same for the EU. Lead is in everything and is impossible to avoid. Sweet potatoes, which are healthier than your shit Lunchable ripoff, contain nearly as much lead and puree than in those unhealthy Lunchables. We're talking about parts per billion. It's totally irrelevant and impossible to prevent the consumption of lead, cadmium, arsenic, etc., all things that are incredibly abundant on Earth. The important thing is mitigating exposure reasonably, not claiming your product is better for you because it may have less lead, LMAO. Dark chocolate has so much lead in it. It's crazy how prevalent lead is. They aren't effing putting lead in the product, you moron. This is so misleading. I wouldn't want this idiot anywhere near my product. Holy crap, if you actually want to improve people's lives and not just make money, make the product yourself and take actual responsibility instead of lying and making a fool of yourself on a daily basis, and maybe let people know that your product is bad for them and they should consider whole food alternatives as often as possible, and that this is a bad thing to market en masse to children without any kind of disclaimer or honesty. Aside from mine doesn't have lead, which I guarantee it does, haha, it's simply not possible. So embarrassing, LOL. And this is Oompaville, by the way. I think he was making, he has candies, I believe, the Sour GG Boys, the Sour Boys, him and Mudahar. So he knows a thing about when it comes to making food and making candy. And I think he's been doing everything from scratch. Like I think it's cost them a lot of money. So he is in the actual same industry of making foods and consumption and candy for people. And this is what he has to say about their product. And well, at least what Logan Paul is saying about it. So I would say highly credible source from somebody who's within the same industry, and basically saying you need to be honest with the fact that you're telling people a healthier version of something that is already disgustingly unhealthy doesn't suddenly translate it to to healthy. Okay, it's just, I guess it's like the advertising is a bit very strongly misleading. Jacksepticeye, who has not responded in ages, okay, by the way, actually responded to this situation and said, yo, you mess with Dan TDM, you mess with YouTube, okay? Jacksepticeye is one of the people on the internet, again, just like him, that everyone kind of loves and beholds kind of situation. He also does not like MrBeast. There was a video from a long time ago that everyone plays where he's like, yeah, I don't like MrBeast. He's ruined YouTube. I think he's ruined the way that YouTube and the cold culture works, and he does not like him. And he said that very matter-of-factly when he was like under some like lie detector taste or something like that. But ever since then, every time MrBeast has been in trouble, the entire internet is like, dang, Jacksepticeye was right all along. This person here said, I like how all three of them had a completely different approach in responding to Dan, and none of them got the result they wanted. Yeah, bro, Imagine getting triple teamed against MrBeast, freaking Logan Paul and KSI, and then coming out and winning. God damn, I don't know a lot about Dan TDM, but Gang Gang is a legend for being able to just stand up to all three of these dudes, just 1v3. An actual sports medicine doctor saying sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day, bro. 192,000 likes. Good freaking lordies, they're all getting cooked. So yeah, guys at home, that's the whole situation that's currently happening with Lunch Lace MrBeast. Him getting sued. Oh my God, from the Beast Games. It is an absolute shit show. We still don't even know what's happening with Logan Paul and Crypto Zoo. And then KSI is just over here just getting straight in ratio. It's bad, bro. It's bad. They out here just trying to make businesses out here, trying to feed the kids and give them healthier alternatives. And the internet's like, nah, brother, we see right through your farce, you freaking millionaires. Why are you out here poisoning the kids? Go do something else. Go make some other business products. Go poison some adults with some alcohol or something. Like every other music celebrity out there. Just stay away from the kids is what a lot of people are saying. You guys can let me know how you feel about the situation below, but that's the situation in a nutshell right now. MrBeast, the class action lawsuit, the MrBeast games, and then still him not responding to everything that Dog Pack has said. We're here. We got a lot more coming in for the rest of the year. As for Sean Diddy Puffy Combs, aka the Diller, bro, okay, remember yesterday I said I'm pretty sure he's gonna be walking free soon. Doesn't look like it. Mans went to jail for basically, sex trafficking and a lot more heinous crimes. People calling him the Harvey Epstein of the music world. He is a terrible dude and apparently has like tapes on tapes on tapes of some of the most famous people that you know, which is why they've been hush-hush about this situation. That's how he kind of controls the universe going down there, and apparently might have gotten seized by the FBI and the feds because he probably has tapes on them as well. Well, he has been denied bail. New York AP judge refuses to grant bail to Sean Diddy Combs, orders him sent to jail while he awaits the sex trafficking trial. I'm going to look into all of this for you, but oh my God, the more you look into this situation with Sean Diddy Combs, the worse it gets. This is one of the situations that you don't look into because he was out on the streets and he might get you. And you think I'm joking, right? But there are people who are saying, yes, I spoke out about Sean Combs, about Diddy, and then my friends all disappeared. Like he's gone. They died. Weird accident. Got shot. Something happened and people were trying to protect Diddy, whether it was Diddy himself or FBI. We don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes. But ever since Cat Williams did that freaking interview with Shannon Sharp saying that everything will be revealed in 2024, okay? Just make sure you hold your backs and watch what happens because the Illuminati is real, That's my Cat Williams impression, by the way. Thank you very much. You can leave the tips at the door. But yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute shit show. Let me tell you what has happened within the past 24 hours. Starting with the fact that apparently Diddy's Miami house had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant among, quote, various freak-off supplies, police documents reveal. Say it is not so. That is absolutely nasty. What you need 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant for? That's absolutely insane. Okay, look, I get it. My man, if he was just a little freaky, right? If he's just a little, just a freaky deaky like the sex stuff, right? I can see this man going to Costco, go to Costco, get himself a nice value pack of like 8 bottles of baby oil, save money and stuff like that, But 1,000? What are you going to do with 1,000 bottles of baby oil? How big are these freak-offs? And how much oil is being spread around? And over how long of a time? That's an insane. The only person that should have all of this baby oil in their closet is quite literally the company Johnson & Johnson that you can see right here. That's it. They're manufacturer stores. There's no other reason that some regular ass dude should have 1,000 bottles. That's nasty, bro. Y'all know they was ill, man. They was out there spreading the herpes. Oh my God. What was y'all doing? And who was on tape? We already know If you guys know, by the way, we're joking about this, right? But Diddy has this thing where he records almost all of his freak offs. He got this on tape. He's got people wrapped around his finger, bro. People that you know, okay? People that you know have been caught probably in his freak offs, getting freaked off. And then also, there's a lot of victims in this situation as well. Specifically, a lot of the women, okay? They were used to kind of come over here and then being towed and then drugged, right? There's cases and situations where they say that they purposely starved and then dehydrated some of these women to the point where they passed out and then had to wake them up with an IV, okay? This is one of the many, many stories. If you've heard a story about Diddy and you think it's fake, it's probably freaking real. Diddy when they show him the showers.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I think the Gambit meme is probably one of my favorite memes so far of like the summer. I freaking love Gambit. Here's what Charlamagne the God had to say on Diddy's arrest, okay, from the Breakfast Club. He's, you know, which I think a lot of people were saying, yeah, this is kind of facts. You know, Charlamagne the God, he's been around a long time, talks about a lot of, you know, black history type of hip hop culture kind of thing. And he's one of the biggest, I want to say, podcast communication type people outside of like him and like DJ Academics.
Yeah, racketeering and sex trafficking. If he gets racketeering and sex trafficking for freak offs, it will be others involved.
Yes.
Yes.
Like if you ever ran a train with Diddy, you're probably going to jail.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, that, you know, that's possibly on those cameras because he had cameras in the crib. So
Man.
people are thinking that maybe there'll be other people involved.
If you ever been
on those
butt naked,
cameras.
if you ever been butt naked anywhere with Diddy or half butt naked with Diddy, and there was some women around or some men around that he told you were part of the party, you're probably going to jail.
Half butt naked is insane. All right.
If you possibly on any of those tapes, like Envy just said,
Moving.
that they seized from that house,
That's right.
you're probably going to jail when they start throwing that word racketeering around.
But we'll see what happens.
Hell, if you walked in a room and saw Diddy in there smashing Carl Winslow, allegedly.
What?
If Diddy flew Carl out, you might be going to jail.
Carl Winslow.
Why you gonna throw Carl out there like that?
We going.
Carl.
We'll be back with more, guys.
I'm just saying that racketeering
pack it
ain't
up
no joke.
for
No,
Carl.
it's not.
Pack it up for
All
Carl.
right.
Jeez, this is big. This is huge. And I'm telling you guys, Diddy, all right, everyone thinks that Diddy killed Tupac because he probably did, right? Diddy has been doing heinous things for decades, okay? Centuries. Okay, not centuries, all right? This man has been around for a long time doing terrible things. Now, you got the statute of limitations, I guess, when it comes to like how far back, I guess, you can prosecute somebody for a crime. Speaking of, you know, Diddy as well, there was a videotape of him and footage that they buried of him like beating one of his ex-girlfriends that I think apparently was just too long of an event for them to actually prosecute for because it happened so long and it got buried because Diddy wanted to bury it. But my guess is that enough has happened that's going to incriminate so many people. There's so many names that people have been throwing around. People have been throwing around Donald Trump. People said there was a pictures of like him. Like he's got a picture with like every single famous person that you can probably ever think of, right? But some people were like, who else was like some of his closest friends? You have like Usher, who might be like a potential victim. Bieber, Jay-Z. People over here like, yeah, Jay-Z might have been real deep in this type of situation as well. I don't know, which then is and then mixed up with Beyonce. Like, if he goes down, how many people are going down with him? And is he at risk of getting murked? Because I think that there is a very strong possibility, okay, where Diddy ends up not alive and people are going to say he hung himself. And this is the type of situation where I feel like they need to be cameras on him 24/7 because there is a lot of powerful people who probably want to bury this for many reasons. Number one, I would say, and this is probably going to a little bit of conspiracy, but just hear me out. I think it's a big credit. You don't have to take it for a grain of salt. But if he has all of these people under his belt and under his control, and some of these people might also be with the FBI and powerful, right? Then the FBI are seizing these tapes. They probably want to have that footage for themselves, for their own control of their natural. They will take it. And then instead of kind of like prosecuting, if they do murder, now they have the power and control of all these people. You know, do you see what I'm saying? Like he who has the tapes, he who has the power, he who can do the blackmail. You know, it's all gangs. Everyone's a gang. The entire world is a gang. Okay, just don't pretend there's this good in this world, right? Everyone's a gang, and power is power, and it corrupts, right, all the way up to the top. So whoever has the most power and control will control everything empathetically. So we'll see how this plays out in terms of the exposure and who are going to get revealed.
I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
I blame Cat Williams. He's the one that started all of this. 2024 and every single crazy thing that has happened so far all started with Cat Williams in this freaking interview, bro. I called it. I told y'all this back in January. He was talking about all this nonsense. This man was basically exposing and saying, this will be the year. We're all your favorites, you know? Don't believe in anything, you know? He said that all of this was going to happen, and as the months have gone by, quite literally every month, someone famous gets exposed for doing something terrible.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
Okay, so just for those of you guys at home, racketeering, you're cooked, right? Just like Charlamagne said, if you hear the word racketeering come against you in cases, you, my friend, are cooked. Organized crime at the highest level. And then sex trafficking, arson, obstruction of justice. They're basically getting him for everything that we already knew back when he killed Tupac. We already knew. We just thought that he was working with the feds. So he might still be working with the feds. Maybe the feds got fed up and they say, you know what? All right, bro, we got to toss you. I think there was, I'll find it for you as well. There was a clip, Eddie Griffin, another famous, popular comedian saying like, yeah, this is, you know, basically Diddy getting thrown under the bus, but he's getting sacrificed in this type of situation. I'll tell you more on that. Some of it conspiracy because we only have so much information to work on, but also we're not like dumb. We can see like what's happening here. We saw the old tapes of Diddy throwing his ex-girlfriend around and stomping her and how much of a terrible monster he is. So we know that he's a monster. It's just a matter of if people were going to prove it like in the court of law. And for a longest time, it seems like a lot of people wanted to, but he was so freaking powerful and terrifying that he would either kill you or silence you or pay you off in order to continue to protect his assets.
The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
Yo, freak-offs. An actual term that's being used here. Oh my God. You got MrBeast games. Well, back out the way because now you got the freaking Sean Diddy. This is not funny. I'm just trying to make light of the humor so you guys don't feel like this is doom and gloom. Freak-offs! And it lasted days at a time. How do you even freak for multiple days at it? Oh my. And then he controlled them with drugs. It's not funny, okay? Because there are actual victims here, okay? It's just, you know, what I'm laughing about more so is the absurdity. That's what it is. It's so absurd that this is the revelation to come out, that we see 1,000 freaking bottles of baby oil, officially coined terms of freak-offs, and this man doing some of the most heinous things that we thought that he did. He superseded our expectations. The absurdity of it is what gets me kind of kind of laughing at just how crazy this man really was. But he is a goon. He's a deviant. He's an evil man. And this is some serious stuff. Okay, we're talking about very serious crimes with lots of victims. Some that are still alive today and that are definitely scarred forever and ever with trauma, and a lot of them who are also dead.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent. and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee.
Oh, yes. Okay, I gotta be careful this footage right here. This is a very disturbing video. I didn't think they was gonna actually use this. This was back in 2016. We're in 2024, so I guess it's the limitations, but this was really bad. Man had a hotel towel and he ran out, came out there and dragged a woman out by her hair back into the room who was trying to leave, I guess, which was potentially one of the freak-offs. So I'm gonna pause here. Editor, if you're watching this, blur out the whole right side of the screen right now, okay? Because this is very disturbing video that you should not see this if you do not want to see this willingly, okay? Because it's him basically beating up and destroying this woman and then dragging her back into the hotel room.
These assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance.
Yeah, that's evil. That's evil. This is evil. Okay, no more joking at this point. This absolutely 1000%, this is the face of an absolute evil man.
Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
RICO.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting.
So that's just his staff, by the way. Okay, like that's the people that he has on his wages doing. That's his henchmen, essentially. That's what they're essentially. He has henchmen, a lot of henchmen. Okay, but this does not count like conspirators. Okay, people who were aware of what he was doing and participating, and not was henchmen, just were the fellow bad guys. Evil people. Okay, there's people who participate in his events that might not have been the henchmen who did not coordinate it, but they participated and they allowed it to happen, or they saw it happen and they didn't say anything, or they watched it, or they supported it in some kind of way. That's the people that you probably know, but you just don't know who they are yet. But don't worry, it's not me. Okay, I've never been to a except me. I know you're thinking that like, oh, we don't know who they are, Omni. Okay, what if it's no, not me, bro. Ain't no way.
When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet.
Dang.
And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims.
That's it.
And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
That's insane. But like I said, they got footages on footages on footages of victims and perpetrators. It's all ogre. Anyway, guys, here's the proposed package that the defense tried to do in order to get this man bail that got denied. All right, because the judge did not allow him to get bail because they believe that he was a flight risk. Okay, this man is always flying around the world, and he just go ahead and just go to another different country, and that'd be very difficult to extradite, you know, Diddy from another freaking country. They came in with a $50 million bond, co-signed by Sean Combs, his mother, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons. Secured by the equity Mr. Combs' Reddit's located, the appraised value of the home. Secured by the equity of Mr. Combs' mother home located. Mr. Combs' travel will be restricted to the Southern District of Florida and Southern District of New York. Mr. Combs' passport was surrendered to his counsel on April 1st, 2024. His counsel advised the prosecutors of this fact in the email dated the same day. My man's got a private jet. Okay, just my man's can get the hell out if he needs to get out. Okay, he's a criminal. Man has probably one of those secret evil villain blimps that he can float above the radar or some shit like that. And the passports of the following members who have also been surrendered their passports as well. So his family and his mother and his sister, all of them, they all had to surrender their own passports. So good Lord. Guys, this trial, when it comes to Diddy, if we can make it there, if he can survive to trial, might be one of the biggest high-profile cases we have seen in our lifetime. And best believe, oh my Lord, best believe we will be here watching that live, because god damn, this is going to be massive. On top of that, TMZ, who was like the first people to break out with the news of the fact that Diddy got arrested, they've been really on point and accuracy with information and on time. Prosecutors point to the fact that Diddy, if convicted, is facing a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years and a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison as motive enough for him to potentially flee. And before we finish, I'm gonna drop this last one I told you about with Eddie Griffin, basically saying like he's being sacrificed. 30 seconds. This one goes under the potential conspiracy, but again, if you listen to Cat Williams, people thought Cat Williams is crazy, okay? Cat Williams, Eddie Griffin, I believe everything that they say, okay? If they know, they all in the same circle, okay? And they either chose to participate like Cat, or they didn't. Cat Williams didn't. So they know, but they might not have got involved because it was too dangerous. The powers that be, it was, you ain't want to touch this thing.
They sacrificing Diddy. They said, nigga, you gotta take this shit because we can't be involved. But Diddy's smart. He filmed every fuck session. So he was fucking Clive and the motherfucking freak boy that run Universal Music Group. So he got them on some fuck tapes. Now that's why they raiding the house, because they got friends in Homeland Security and the feds. And they said, get in there and get them tapes from this nigga. He trying to blackmail us. That's what I believe is going on.
Dang. Oh. It looked like Diddy got some tapes on some powerful people connected to some powerful people connected to some powerful people. And someone said, all right, let's pull the trigger. This man's got too much leverage over us. We got to get his ass now. So guys, that's the Diddy update in a nutshell. I'll keep you guys posted as we hear more information, but I feel like this week, this month, September, this year, oh my God, election, everything that is happening is absolutely wild. Take a deep breath, okay? But there's more to come, okay? I only wanted to limit today's video with like MrBeast and Diddy because it was so much on both sides. So now you are all caught up, and I will keep you guys updated as things happens in the future, all right? I love you guys. Y'all take it easy. I got to get out of here and edit this video for y'all, all right? Stay safe from the streets, because these streets are not safe, all right? I love y'all. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and tell your friends about me, all right? All right, gang, peace.